Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 9, Episode 23 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I am Denny Luce, coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. How you doing tonight, Kris, and what is in your glass?
Denny, I am doing great. I had a lovely just afternoon of really not doing a whole lot. Went grocery shopping, watched a movie, had a couple beers, made some ribs and some roasted potatoes, and it was a good day. And in my glass this evening, I'm having a beer from Veterans United, which I think this is what I had on the show last time too. Their Scout Dog 44 Amber Ale, clocking in at 4.4%. And this was the logo or the beer label got me purchase. And it has to go. It has to go, with my other dog type things. So, but it's pretty tasty. It's doing its job for what I need it to do right now before we get into our show. But how about you? How's your day going? What's in your glass? What's up?
It's going good. I just got back from Pocatello, where I visited. It's a long weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, and we left Friday to go to Pocatello, where my daughter lives, and help her do some stuff, visit with her and help and do stuff around her house. I installed a doggy door, an electronic doggy door.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was fun. I mean, it went pretty smooth. I had to go borrow a jigsaw. I forgot to bring mine with me, and I had a reciprocating saw, but you know what? That's too big a saw for the job. Sometimes going big is just, it's going too big is just too big.
You need a little precision when it comes to cutting holes in doors, not just let's just hack through it.
Yeah, I tried. I thought I drilled holes in it, and I was okay, but I couldn't get the blade, it just wouldn't fit into the hole. And I was trying and it was just going everywhere. I'm like, okay, I'm stopping right now before I destroy the door. Don't want to do that. And we called around. I was going to just, I've been wanting, I have a Ryobi set of impact driver and cordless drill that I love. 18 volt, HP plus, HP or 1 plus HP. Like really high, really nice.
I know you're
stuff.
You're over here talking dirty to us too.
Yeah.
The 18 volt Ryobi set.
Yeah. And so at the end of last summer, it's only sold at Home Depot, and they had a sale last summer. And I was at the end of the summer, I was like, I'm gonna go buy this. I'm gonna save the money. Oh, wait, I forgot to say, I wanted to buy this cordless jigsaw. Because I have a jigsaw I've had for 30 years, and it's just a piece of junk, and I hate using it because it doesn't cut straight, and it doesn't have support to hold the blade, good. So I was going to buy this Ryobi jigsaw in the summer. I was like, you know what? I'll just buy it in the beginning of the summer, so I at least can use it when I buy it. And so I thought, well, even if I needed a jigsaw, I'll just buy one at Home Depot when I'm there. So I was like, okay, well, it's Memorial Day weekend. There should be a sale, right? Guess what? There was a sale, but only online. And I didn't want to order it and then have it show up 3 days later. That wouldn't work out. And it's the exact one I wanted, on sale for $80, half price. And if I were to go buy it in the store, it was online only deal. If I went to the store and bought it, it was $140. And I'm like, okay, I'm not paying twice what I could. So I ordered it online to come to my house, and I'm like, okay, if I have to, I'll go to Harbor Freight and buy a $17 jigsaw to use to cut this hole out. I didn't want to do that. But you know what? One of her friends had a jigsaw we borrowed, and I just borrowed it, bought some blades, and then cut the hole out for the dog door, and all was well. And it went really well. And the dog is, I told Haley, I said, I install the door, but it doesn't mean the dog's going to use the door. So you need to train the dog how to use the door.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, her dog is so stupid. He's never going to use this door. But I was wrong.
Good.
And he's gone through it a couple times on his own, but he's afraid to put his head in to knock it open and walk through. He's kind of still a little nervous. So if you have any, advice for Haley, let her know what she can do to help.
I'll give her that advice right now. So if she's not listening, then she's going to miss out on free dog training advice. Put a leash on the dog and help him go through the door. So basically pass the leash through the door and help him walk through it.
So he has no problem walking through the door when it's open. It's when it's closed, and he has to, because he has to push it open. It's got magnets that hold it like.
Okay.
So way it works is it goes down and locks, and when he has a collar, it comes over and it lifts and it pulls up. You can hear it pull up. So he gets a audio cue that it's unlocked. And what he has to do is he has to push his way through the door to get the magnets from the door, and that's what he's having trouble with. But once the door is, if it's open, he goes in and out, no problem. He has no problem going through it.
Is there any way to get it to disengage and then like open it just a smidge so it's kind of propped open and kind of call him through it?
Yeah, that's what she's been doing.
Okay.
And that's helping. So he is getting more used to it. So I'm hoping after a week of doing it, he'll be a pro.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. Yeah, he's not as dumb as I thought. At first, I was like, there's no way this dog is going to learn this. The way he was acting, I'm just like, yeah, he's not smart enough to get to do that. I was wrong.
Give him a little credit, Denny. Jesus.
But I got carried away. What am I drinking right now?
Yeah, what's in your glass?
This is an IPA show, and I'm drinking from Deschutes Brewery, the Cosmic Creatures IPA. I got a 12-pack of this. I've had a couple 6-packs already, and I saw they had it on sale. It's not a hazy. It is a standard West Coast style IPA. Got nice citrus and pine notes to it. Really good. Really tasty beer. So I grabbed a 12-pack of that for $19. That's a good price.
Oh,
for a 12-pack.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. So I've been drinking this as we've been sitting here. I'm getting down to the last little bit of it before we get into some fun tastings we're going to be doing in this episode as well. So Kris, let's get the show started. What do you think?
I was going to say you started cluing people in a little bit. It's going to be an IPA show.
I know.
Why?
I don't want to get too
Why is it going to be an IPA show?
Well, I will explain that in just a second. But before we get to that, I just want to let anyone new listening to Tap to Craft Podcast know what we're all about. We are an educational podcast celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you are listening to episode 231, and we were recording on Monday, May 29th, 2023. It is Memorial Day in the U.S., and we are live on Facebook. And if you want to join us live during one of our recording sessions, you can do that easily on the Monday before the show releases at 8:30 Eastern Time. And in this episode, we are going to learn about the minimum legal drinking age from around the world. All these other countries, what is their minimum drinking age? And of course, we're going to find out how did the U.S. come up with the minimum age of 21? What's the thought behind that? Again, anyone that's drinking doesn't really care because you're already old enough to drink. But I thought it was kind of interesting to go and find out, in case you have a child that's coming with you going overseas or a grandchild and you want to find out, hey, can they legally share a beer with me when we're over there? Guess what? We're going to tell you which countries you can do that at what age. And we are going to be doing not one, but 2 blind IPA tastings segments tonight. And this is care of our good buddy, Jeff Seiler out of North Carolina. We want to thank you, Jeff, for hooking us up. We're going to hear Jeff on a voicemail talk about what he was sending us. And I'll read this nice little letter too. Probably getting a little too personal for Jeff, but hey, we care about him and want to make sure everyone else knows about the generosity and what his thought process is in sending us beer.
That's the beautiful. Yeah, it's the beautiful part of the First Amendment. Yeah, we got this letter in our hand. We're going to go ahead and read it, right?
That's right. That's right. And of course, you can count on Kris having some great beer conversation as well. And Kris and I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mark Reedy, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, Jim Kutzel, and Alex Fuchs, who are our virtual producers, and Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Chad Lamassa, Mark Church, and Eric Garnley, who want to buy us a virtual beer. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. And we're going to go quickly into some feedback. We got a little feedback from Mr. Chad Lamassa from our last episode. And if you remember, Kris, we were going through the Untap the Craft segment, and we got to Chad's check-in, and you made a comment that there is a shaved ice type character, and we couldn't think of what it was. Well, Chad responded back on Discord, says the RAR labels are based off the Slush Puppy logo.
Oh yeah.
Now, was Slush Puppy? I remember Slush Puppy, but was that like a Kmart brand icy? Or?
I think so, because that's where I remember getting them as a kid, was in Kmart. I don't remember seeing them anywhere else either. So okay. I feel like we're either going to get some sort of message on social media or Discord or something here in the next few days. Yeah, it was a Kmart exclusive.
Yeah, I don't know. My memory's bad, but I do remember seeing the Slush Puppy thing. But I don't remember where. But tell us where we saw it.
I don't know. Maybe that's why they're able to use the logo, since Kmart doesn't exist anymore.
That could be. If you want to be like Chad and leave us a comment on Discord, you can join our Discord server. It's our own little private community where we can interact with each other and talk about beer and talk about other stuff too. And you can find that link on top of our webpage at tapthecraft.com or on our Linktree site, which is linktr.ee/tapthecraft. We have all the links to all of the stuff you want to find about our podcast on that app. And if you'd rather, send us a voicemail, we do have a voicemail number, 208-536-3359, or if you don't like numbers, 208-53-ODDLY. Go ahead, leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you enjoy about the show. Tell us about the beer you're drinking. Tell us about your craft beer journey. Tell us why you love us so much. Whatever you want. We love hearing from you. And, Kris, I hope you're ready for this, but we did get another voicemail, 3 episodes in a row where we have voicemail. And this is from Mr. Jeff Seiler. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Let's hear what Jeff has to say.
Hey, Denny and Kris. It's Jeff Seiler. How are you guys doing? Wanted to leave you a voicemail because you guys like voicemails.
We do.
Got a couple things to talk about. First, I want to go back to episode 225 and the beer festival episode. Denny, you are 100% correct. I love beer festivals, but in recent years, they have gone way downhill. So you have to be very selective. You used to have great stuff at them, unique stuff. Now it's like some of them have nothing. And like you said, stuff you can buy at the grocery store. So, yes, you were 100% correct, and that troll was full of crap. One other thing, Denny, I just noticed this today. It came in on my phone. Fremont has released their 7,000th brew. It's called Brew 7,000, and it is, ready, an English barley wine. So keep an eye out for that.
Oh, yeah.
Although I did see that it's pretty expensive, so you may have to ask for that for your birthday or an early Christmas present. I am enjoying your journey through the alphabet. You guys are about halfway through the alphabet, so that's pretty good. Whoever came up with that idea is a genius, so yeah. I've learned a lot from this journey through the alphabet, and I do enjoy the listener participation in that. When you get to the end, you got one more that you could do. You could do breweries with a numerical name, like 3 Floyds or 450 North.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have, instead of 26, you can have 27 episodes. Also, on your new and noteworthy beers, I got a suggestion. Both of you could make a list of your favorites through the year, and then at the end of the year, you have a show that highlights your both personal favorite beers of 2023. I think that'd make a good show. Lastly, you both need to be on the lookout for a package headed your way. And I'll just leave it at that. All right. I want you guys to keep up the great work, and above all, keep having fun. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Wow, that's a great voicemail. A lot of stuff in there. Jeff, he knows how to chalk a lot of stuff into a voicemail, and a lot of good stuff in there. I love the praise for me, of course. I appreciate that, Jeff, for being spot on the beer festival stuff. I love a good beer festival too, and I went to a lot of them early on, but yeah, I've kind of let them go to the wayside a little bit, and I'm very selective in the ones I do go to that I feel like I'm going to get my value.
We've got 2 coming up this year so far.
Okay.
One's in August, one's in November. So one is very much like a kind of like what most people are saying, or what Jeff said, like you can get the beers in most grocery stores kind of thing. But it's going to be at Amalie Arena where the Tampa Bay Lightning play. And every year they run this deal on this. There's a like a free newspaper that's in the area called Creative Loafing, that they're around in a couple of other places too. But they run these deals where you can get like half off of this and half off of a $50 gift card to this place. And they always run half off of VIP entrance to the Bolts Brew Fest. So we can get into the event 2 hours early. We get into the suite section where there's free food included with everything that we have. And so we take advantage of it and go, spend $100 and have some food. And we've developed a little bit of a group that has gone with us.
Oh, good.
That's going with us this year and last year too. So it's one I look forward to. Not like I'm excited. Oh my gosh, I wonder what beers they're going to have. Just a good night out with some food and beers. And then we grabbed a hotel room at one of the hotels right next door, so we don't have to worry about driving home. Yeah.
No, very smart move. And that's what kind of the Black Friday beer festival, even though it started to go for me, it kind of started going down. I still was going because it was the community, the people that would come and join us, and we'd have a big giant, people would come and go, and we'd have a good time just drinking and chatting and seeing how their Thanksgiving went. And then we'd usually get done with the beer festival and then walk over to a restaurant and have dinner and have some more beers. And, that's where the fun is, right? If you have a good group of people, even if the beer festival is not the best, it still makes it fun. All right. Well, there's other contact information. If you don't want to leave us a voicemail or get on a Discord server, you can write us an email at taptocraft@gmail.com. Or if you only do social media like Twitter and Instagram, hey, we've got those accounts too. Just follow us at taptocraft. And Kris loves interacting with you on Facebook at facebook.com/tapthecraft. Okay, Kris, how you doing with your beer? You want to do the Untapped the Craft segment or a live tasting?
I've got about that much left, so I think we'll do the Untapped the Craft segment, and then we'll be prepped and ready for the tasting. Let me get a little.
Okay, well, let's continue the conversation because now it's time to untap the craft and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untapped.
And we're going to start off with 2 of your favorite things, Denny. First one is Mr. Alex Fuchs. And the second one is that he's drinking a black IPA.
I know. I saw that. Yes. That is awesome.
By Perigord Beers. And he's drinking that at Le Saint Jean, but not sure where that is. Or is he traveling right now? Do you know? Or
he might be. I don't know.
Okay. He didn't put any notes or anything to go along with it, but gave it 4 caps. It's just a French restaurant.
Oh, he might be in
France.
He's in France. Yeah, his wife, his now wife, likes to go, and her family likes to go to France to go do the wine tasting stuff, and he comes along and drinks the wine, but then goes and finds the beer as well.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man. Well, next on the list is a name I haven't read in a while, and you can already guess which beer he's drinking. It's Kevin Page. He's drinking a Bright by Burial Beer Company and he said, now I feel stupid for not buying a whole 4-pack. Very well done and enjoyable. Or am I just becoming weak like Brian? And he said, hashtag last night or hashtag double or nothing. I'm sure there's a fun story to go along with that one. Great can art on these Burial beers too. And the glass he's drinking out of. He gave it 4.25 caps to go along with that. Johan Halberg is drinking a Spectre by Stone Barrel Brewing. No notes or rating to go along with it, but from what I can see, it's a cool looking container. Moving on up the list, and because it's a holiday weekend, there's a lot of check-ins. Oh, yeah. So we're trying. I'm gonna see if we can't get through these as best as we possibly can. I'm going to read this one from Kevin Page because he's drinking this beer out of what looks like a Smokey and the Bandit / Toxic Crusaders glass. If that isn't a mashup you guys wouldn't want to see, I don't think we need to be friends. But yeah, he's drinking a Subjective Interpretation is an Understanding, Nevertheless, by Burial Beer Company. He said, motor oil Monday morning, sat in sister-in-law's fridge since October of 2021. Still stellar and doesn't feel like adjuncts fell off too much. If anything, mitigated some of the sweetness. See, there's benefits to procrastinating. He gave this a 4.5 cap rating to go along with this beer. And I like that. Motor oil Monday morning. I almost started my day that way, Denny. And is this the cup that he drank it out of? No, that was the bottle. The bottle is the one that has the has Smokey and the Bandit on it and Toxic Crusaders. Crap, where'd it go? Here, if you guys are watching with us, you can see it because that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is fun. Burt Reynolds and the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, Avengers, Crusaders. Yeah, that's a pretty cool label right there. Craig Andrew, right here in the Tampa area, is drinking a Phenomenal Chemistry by Two Frogs Brewing Company at Two Frogs Brewing Company. He said, Phantasm, well done. 4.5 caps to go along with that one. Two Frogs Brewing over in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Guess that's another place I'm going to have to go visit. Eric Gronley checking into a Mars Transfer Orbit by War Pigs USA Brewing. Checking in at the GHQ, as he likes to. This hef is really good. Sweet marshmallow? Aroma right into the light but present banana and clove. Quite a treat. 4.25 caps for that check-in from Eric. Scrolling on up the list, Mr. Matt Knight is drinking a Tropical Pineapple Kolsch by Genesee Brewing Company. Beer plus beach equals good day, he says. And you and I both got tagged in that one. And I don't disagree with you on that at all, Matt. And 4.5 cap rating. Denny, do you ever think you'd see people check into Genesee beer and give them ratings that high?
Honestly, even though Genesee is supposed to be like a cheap beer, I have enjoyed all the Genesee beers I've had. So I don't know if things have changed over the years and now they're just making I think their beer is really good. But yeah, high. I mean, what do you rate it at?
4.25.
I mean,
4.5.
4.5. I mean, hey, it's a Kolsch, which their Kolsch is already good. And then you throw a little pineapple in there to give it a little bit extra, fruitiness, and yeah, it might take it over the top. But hey, I'm glad to see Genesee is putting out some quality beer at a very low price as well, right? They can buy a 12-pack for like $9 or less.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be buying all that beer and rating it high just because the price point is really good and the beer is tasty.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that one either. So I get to finally read a check-in from Sunny Pally. Sunny. Sunny is definitely over towards our friend Johan. And normally his check-ins are in Swedish, and I can't read them. And this one's no different, but I was able to translate this one rather quickly. He's drinking a Happy 2022 by Morslutel Craft Brewery. And he said, aroma, chocolate, coffee, spice, bourbon, vanilla, taste, chocolate, coffee, vanilla, spice, bourbon, wood, light booze, good roasted bitterness, sweetness. This might be just a mess up on the translation. Blood and fluffy mouthfeel. Or is that Danish? Maybe that's what it was. Either way, Google, thank goodness for them, they pick up on that stuff. So I normally don't get to read his check-ins, but he gave this one a 4 cap rating, and I figured, nice. You know what? I figured it's time we can get to read one on the show. Tell me if I totally blew that translation at all, whoever knows. Let's see. Next on our list, Jeremy Garrison is drinking a Urban Surfer Citrus Wheat by Payette Brewing Company at the Payette Brewing Tap House and Beer Garden. He said light wheat sweetness, then tangerine-like hop finish, 4.25 caps to go along for that beer. He's also drinking a Loganberry by Bauman's Cider Company. And he said it was fruity and somewhat dry, not of fruit flavor without being sweet. 4.5 caps to go along with that one. He's checking into a few other ones. Barley Brown's beer, their Turmoil, roasty, dark, and hoppy, 4.5 caps. Looks like he's having a lot of fun out and about today.
Oh, good.
Robert, or as we know him, Chew Your Beer, is drinking a Spilled Whip by Urban South Brewery. And I say whip because it was HWHIP. He didn't give it any rating or notes to go along with it, but the can art got me. And he had another one earlier that I'm sure I'll come up on, here in a second, that really got me, most because it was a hip hop lyric and a video game all smashed into one. Bill Schlemmer drinking a Big Wave by Kona Brewing, Hawaii. And he said better than expected. A little malt, a little hoppy, a little sweetness from a hint of fruit. I'm sure I've had this in Hawaii, but I don't remember it. He gave it 3.5 caps, which I'm pretty sure is more than I've given it. So does sound better than expected. There it is. Robert, or Chew Your Beer, is drinking a Cruising Down the Street in My N64.
Okay,
and
what's the rap song?
It is it's Easy E. I know that. Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the house. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't really want to get into Easy E on the show, but Cruising Down the Street in My N64 by Spanish Marie Brewing or Brewery. It's super bright red. It's got some Mario Kart type logo on the front of it and hip hop lyrics. I mean, I can't really go wrong with that. That's pretty awesome. Next on the list, Jeff Seiler. Can art, I'm sure, got you on this one, didn't it? I did it all for the Wookiee by Divine Barrel Brewing. He said, tasty cold IPA, piney and citrusy. Who wouldn't do it all for the Wookiee? And to quote Han Solo, laugh it up, fuzzball. 3.75 caps for that rating. Yeah, it's a pretty cool logo too, and super just bright and effervescent looking too. Nice. Eric Gronley again, a Light in the Black Sea by War Pigs USA Brewing. Had a fun day hanging out in a treehouse and the hammock. Nice. That's a great way to spend a day. Grilled chicken legs for dinner, tasty German Pilsner on the sweeter side, but it's tasting great today. Very crisp and bready. 4 cap rating for that one. Brian G is drinking a Zombie Dust by Three Floyds Brewing. Nice. 4.5 caps, no notes, solid. But it doesn't need it. It's definitely a good one.
Everyone knows what Zombie Dust is.
Well,
Delicious.
if you don't, you need to get on it and find out about it. And I'm gonna hit refresh, and Kevin Page is drinking a Fall of the Damned, their 2023 release by none other than Burial Beer Company.
Wow.
Kevin, there's other breweries around.
Between Burial and Arcane Ale Works, there's only two breweries he drinks. Wait, is it Arcane Ale? Is that right?
Yeah, it was usually Arcane and Burial, but he lives right down the street from what's that place in Orlando? I can't remember, but wow.
By the airport?
I'm totally blanking here.
Me too. I can't remember either.
And I'm looking around going, do I have a sticker or something nearby?
Lauren from Hop Geeks would tell you because she goes there all the time.
Yeah. And they've got nerdy video game stuff on the walls too. Anyway, 4 cap rating to go along with that one. And that is what everybody's drinking.
Excellent. Well, happy Memorial Day drinking to all. Well, now let's get into our blind IPA tasting number 1. But before we get into that, I wanted to read what Jeff had included in the box that he sent us. A nice surprise box. The only hint that it was coming was the voicemail, which Kris didn't hear, and I heard the day before it showed up, which was very good timing.
Yeah, but I got to work on Tuesday, and it had shown up the day before, and I got it, and I went into my office, and I was like, "Oh, a box!" Now, was your box from Jackie O's?
Yes, it was.
I was like, "Oh my God, there's beer in my oh, it's from Jeff."
Which was surprising because normally, at least the U.S. Post Office won't ship anything in a beer-related box. At least they've
given you crap before.
No, my wife accidentally packed non-beer stuff into a 12-pack box to ship off, and they said, "Sorry, we can't take this. It says beer on it." She says, "There's no beer in it." Well, sorry, pack it into another box, or you're not shipping it. I'm like, damn, that's hardcore. These guys really are serious about that. So,
he shipped it UPS. That's why.
Yeah, he shipped UPS, so maybe they don't care as much. Okay, here we go. Here's what Jeff sent us this nice letter. It says, Denny and Kris, hey guys, hope all is well with you and your families. Yes, they are. Thank you, Jeff. Well, it's almost Memorial Day. Well, now it is. And that's the unofficial beginning of summer. And just maybe a good way to celebrate would be to have an all IPA blind tasting to welcome the summer of 2023. And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly what you both now have. Awesome. Okay, what we have here is 5 IPAs. These are all fairly well-known beers that craft beer folks have most probably heard of. And you both have had some of these, but not all of them, according to your Untapped check-ins. So go ahead and enjoy. Oh, yeah, and there is one extra bonus beer for you both to try at the end. Have fun with this and enjoy, and just enjoy. Cheers, Jeff. Well, thank you, Jeff. Very kind of you. And it was that last little special beer. It was like one of those little tiny,
like little 8-ounce cans.
Yeah, 8-ounce cans. So I'm really looking forward to finding out what's in that
too.
can.
Yeah, and Jeff, thank God for Denny taking a picture of it. Jeff said UPS probably has no idea who Jackie O's is. Yeah, you're probably right. If it wasn't for Denny posting the picture on our Facebook page the other day, I would have thrown away that little can. I didn't know it was in there.
No.
And I dug through it. I felt like I dug through the box just to make sure. And all right, out to the garbage it goes. And luckily I saw the picture and I went, hey, where's my little tiny can? And I went out and dug it out of the trash can.
Okay, well, as Jeff did with our Christmas beers, all wrapped in Christmas paper, this time he wrapped them all in shipping paper, or at least
paper bag, shipping
bags
paper, something.
With numbers on 2 sides, so we know exactly this is beer number 1. 16-ounce can taped with his famous electrical tape.
Signature electrical tape.
See anything. And let's go ahead and pop this thing open, Kris, and let's pour it into our glass and see what Jeff had provided in beer number 1.
Yep, now, it's an IPA.
Now, we're going to try to do these, because these are IPAs, We're gonna try to do two at a time, two
Hmm.
per show, because I don't want to drag all these beers off for like 3 months and have anything drop out. I want to make sure we can enjoy these beers. So Kris and I get to enjoy two blind tasting segments, and you guys too, each episode for the next couple episodes. Although I think the next one's. I don't know if I want to do two 16-ounce. We'll
Well,
see.
the
We'll see how
number
we
3 is
feel.
a bottle. That looks like a
Yeah.
16-ish ounce bottle. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
16.9.
It smells fantastic though.
Yeah, it smells old school. So checking out this beer, I can't fit the whole thing in. I've got a nice 2.5, almost 3 finger head. It's slightly off white, but almost pure white. Dense and fine bubbles, creamy looking head from the top. The nice and clear, not quite as clear as that. What do we have last? That last Janet Jones, a Golden
Oh,
Strong Ale.
the
That
golden
one we
strong
can,
ale.
yeah, but still clear, not hazy.
You could have
It's got
hidden prehistoric mosquitoes in that one.
Yeah, yeah. This has got a light amber coloring, maybe a golden amber color. The bubbles are coming up, but not. I mean, if you remember, if anyone saw the video from last episode, man, that Golden Strong Ale was bubbling like a mother. This has still got some bubbles, but not as strong, but some solid bubbles.
Your head is definitely
Speaking of
stuck around a lot longer too. I've had to give it a little fluffing just to get it back.
a little fluffing.
Yeah, well, I mean, no shame in being a beer fluffer.
Okay, so I'm smelling a lot of head here. What do you smell in your with your lower head?
So I'm getting some good tropical notes out of here,
Yeah, I'm getting tropical.
like pineapple, mango.
Yeah, some yeah, maybe some mango or some guava. Some tropical. It is tropical, so I'm getting some tropical out of mine as well.
God, these IPAs are going to be a tough one.
I know. I know. It's gonna be tough. It is gonna be tough.
I said that when I read that letter, and I went, "Oh my gosh, this one's going to be a little difficult." But hey, it's going to be funny anyway. Watch one of these be zombie dust.
They're IPAs. Zombie does a pale.
Okay,
Yeah, I definitely get some ripe tropical fruit. Maybe some mango. Maybe it's instead of guava, not guava, passion fruit. That's what I was trying
yeah.
to think of. Yeah, passion fruit. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about what I can give you on this. My head is still holding strong. It's got solid head. I still got a full finger and a little bit more of head here, and it's still got a nice little.
Now I think yours is or mine's a lot colder than yours because mine's definitely not as cold or is not as clear as yours. But oh well.
Okay, this does taste familiar. Okay, it's got some solid bitterness in the finish. Super bitter finish.
Yeah.
It's got um, it's like a piney bitterness too. So that surprised me.
Like I want to scrape it off my tongue.
Yeah, it's definitely exactly. It's like it's got a nice bitterness that just like makes your tongue into sandpaper. It dries it out really well. Let me take another sip because I want to try to pull out more flavors here. Definitely old school. Gosh, I know I've had this beer. It tastes very familiar. I'm trying to think of what it tastes like.
God,
So
and that bitterness lingers for a long time.
the bitterness really takes over the flavor profile as well. So in the aroma, like you said, we can get some of those tropical fruits, but it's really tough to come out in the flavor because it's so bitter. It is really bitter. That's why I'm trying to think of like I know I can call out this bitterness. I know I can remember this beer. I just got to think about it, but I don't know if I can think about it in a short amount of time.
So Eric just commented, Eric, did you get a box too? Just, just to make sure we don't go through the entire tasting and then him be like, oh yeah, I tasted number 4 as well.
Actually, this could be. I mean, he mentioned atomic torpedo. I don't know, never had atomic, but I have had their torpedo.
Okay, just me. He said no box. But yeah, it could be.
It could be
torpedo.
It could be torpedo because it does have a big bitterness.
And I always do this too. Sometimes if you check the bottom of your cans, there might be some indicator of where it comes from.
It says cheers.
Yeah, that's all mine says too.
Canned
330.
30. Also, it's 2 months old. So that means it could be Sierra Nevada because their stuff sits in a warehouse a little bit before it ships out.
There's almost a little bit of pepperiness in the beginning too. Now that mine's starting to warm up too.
No, I agree. When you were saying that, I was feeling kind of a peppery in that bitterness, right? That bitterness comes across peppery.
Yeah, and not like peppers, but like actual pepper, like black pepper.
Yeah, black pepper. Okay. I'm trying to think. I just had a torpedo not that long ago.
Yeah, I did too.
But I don't remember if it was came across as bitter.
I don't know.
There is another beer I had that was really bitter like this. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh man, my memory is gonna play havoc with me. So, what do you think, Kris? You think this is?
Well, just like we got stuck on them the last time. It seems like once we get a beer in our head, we get stuck on it, right? We were doing that with every beer that we tasted before.
It's weird that it's definitely more, for me, it's coming across more piney in the bitterness. What kind of bitterness are you getting?
So I get that. I wouldn't call it piney. It's piney and resinous. It's definitely like a West Coast kind of
resinous.
Yeah.
It might be a citrus as well. It's just so strong. It's hard to pull out the. I mean, it's resinous. You're right. I should use resinous as more than necessarily signifying piney. It definitely has a resin.
I don't know if it's a double. Eric wants to know, does it taste like a double? It could be. Well, it could be leaning towards that.
Honestly,
as far as
it does kind of taste like a double, but not alcoholic though.
No.
Just in strong. Whenever I have a super strong hop bitterness, resinous. I always think of a double. It's not heavy though. It's definitely not heavy beer. I mean, it's not light either, but it's not like sitting, like syrupy.
Yeah, it's not.
I like that he started off of the West Coast.
Two-hearted.
You know what? I just had Two-Hearted, but this is light. This is heavier than Two-Hearted. Two-Hearted to me was a lighter.
Two-Hearted sits at about 7%.
No, but I mean as far as bitterness.
Oh, okay.
Wise, but you know what? Maybe. But and Two-Hearted comes in a 12-ounce can.
I've seen them in bigger cans too.
Yeah,
but
he might have got a bigger one, but I still think the Two-Hearted wasn't this strong of bitterness. It was bitter, but I didn't think it was this strong of bitterness. This is definitely coming across higher bitterness rating. Okay, how much more do you want to go before we We give a guess and then rip the label off.
I mean, I feel like we could sit here and just go back and forth and go, oh well, like even Eric, Three Floyd's Dreadnought. Like I said earlier, this one's gonna be tough.
It could be three. It could be Dreadnought. Actually, I haven't had that for a while. But wow, Eric, that is a possibility. I remember Dreadnought being very much like this.
And then he said it, the beers that he sent us, that we've had most of them according to our check-ins. So, it would have to be something. It would have to be something that not only that you and I could both get, I would imagine pretty readily, but also something that he could get. In North Carolina. So it's really just and especially with a style like IPA, good Lord, man.
I'm looking for my Dreadnought can. I don't see it here.
He said he thinks that Dreadnought is a bit heavier from his recollection.
It's not super heavy, but it's that resinous makes it feel like it's bigger, a big beer. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to go. We're gonna have to take a potty break here because I've been drinking too much NA beer today.
Okay. Well, why don't you go take a potty break?
And you'll keep thinking about it.
And
are you going to be able to fill up the?
Is it cheating if I go through my IPA check-ins?
It's cheating.
There's so many.
There's so many. You're never going to figure it out.
I had 100.
You don't leave notes. You don't leave notes. So
shut up.
Okay. We're going to take a quick intermission. I have to empty my bladder. Maybe something will come to me while in the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. That's where I do all of my best thinking. It's in the bathroom. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it looking at my check-ins cheating? Because man, this is going to be tough. Or I wonder if it's one of the Voodoo Rangers. See, Eric, you even said it too. Could it be a Voodoo Ranger? Yeah, that would that's it could be. And I think it might be one of those things too where my brain's already gone, oh well, Jeff lives out towards Asheville, and well, New Belgium could potentially make Voodoo Rangers out there. And Jeff said it's not cheating. Okay, cool. I'll take that into consideration. So I always get kind of, my mind plays tricks on me. And when we start getting these beers in our heads and we think about what was the first beer we guessed, Torpedo, we automatically get into it and go, okay, maybe it's Torpedo. Maybe we get stuck on that one. And now I'm sitting on the, Jeff said it's not cheating.
It's not cheating. Look through Untapped.
Yeah. I also, Eric and I both said at the same time, I wonder if it could be one of the Voodoo Rangers.
Oh.
And I was just kind of chatting, saying that I automatically go to beers that are produced by companies in the North Carolina area. So if it's Sierra Nevada or New Belgium. He said also, I have been known to mail order beer. So
I like that Eric is helping us out here because
he's throwing us some clues, man. I love this.
Because Dreadnought for sure. I'm trying to remember, but I remember that beer being similar to this, but maybe it was a bit heavier. And I still think it could be Torpedo. I think Torpedo is still my number one.
Well, you know how we're gonna find out, right?
By ripping it off, ripping the label off.
All right,
let's do it. Wait, what's your guess? What's your guess?
I'm stuck on Torpedo, but I'm also kind of, well, it could be one of the Voodoo Ranger ones. Eric's trying to get in Jeff's head real bad. It's like, I'm trying to think of beers that Jeff enjoys. It's a whole mystery. Yeah.
Jeff enjoys a lot of beer.
Yeah,
so
he really does.
likes beer.
So, all right. God damn it, Jeff. You got this in here.
Oh no, it's not going to be. I see a blue. I'm looking at blue. I see blue, and now I'm thinking it's not it's not a Deschutes one, is it? If it's a Deschutes one, I'll be.
Where's my knife when I need it?
Wow, you did a good job of.
Okay, I've torn off 3 layers now.
I've never had this beer. It's on my bucket list.
I've torn through like 3 layers of this. What is it?
It's Swami's.
I've never had it either.
From Pizza Port.
Oh,
Jeff
Mr.
just got us. No wonder we couldn't. I thought for sure I'd had this beer before.
Well, hey, at least we were right on the West Coast.
This is on my bucket list. Thank you, Jeff. There's no way I would have guessed that correctly because I've never had Swami's, and I've mentioned wanting to try this beer. And now I'm going to savor this last little bit.
That's all you have left?
Yeah, I've been.
Here, if I could pour you the rest of my can too. I'm talking about here. Plus, I got the.
Oh, so this is Swami's India Pale Ale from Pizza Port Brewing, out of California,
San Diego, I believe.
San Diego area. Wow, there's some really small print. Let me bust out my reading glasses here.
Carlsbad.
Swami's IPA was first brewed in 1992 to commemorate one of our favorite local surf breaks nestled below a spiritual enlightenment temple that sits on the cliffs above. This West Coast style IPA features a timeless American hop profile, citrus and pine with a crisp, balanced finish. It's a dream come true to be able to share so many pints over time as we all evolve together. Whatever your form of meditation is, we hope that each and every sip contributes to your own self-realization. Cheers. Yeah, so there is both citrus and pine in there. So I was kind of right. There was both of those in there. What's the ABV on this sucker?
6.8.
6.8. Wow, this is a big beer for, I mean, it has a crazy amount of hop bitterness in here with some pine and citrus intermixed bitterness. That's a good one. Thank you, Jeff. This has got to be one he mail ordered.
Yeah, I think he threw that clue out last minute. I mail order beer sometimes. Hint.
He started off with one that neither of us was going to get.
Yeah,
but it's okay. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff, for that. For this beer, I'm going to put this can in my can collection because my first Pizza Port beer, I think, too.
Is it?
I think
it's
so.
A great day.
Yeah, I haven't made it down to California to go drink it myself, and we don't get it here in the Boise area.
Yeah, I think I've only had a couple, if I have.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, well, that's a great beer. Let's we'll drink this beer and finish it up as we go through the next couple of segments, and then maybe we'll see where we're sitting, and maybe we'll do the tasting before we finish off the show. And
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, so now it's time for our Beer Speak 101. This is where we briefly define common and not so common beer terminology. This episode, I went a little bit out there, and we're going to discuss the term fusel alcohol. Fusel alcohol is the alcohol that you don't necessarily want in your beer. A family of high molecule weight alcohols, which result from excessively high fermentation temperatures. Fusel alcohols can impart harsh or solvent-like characteristics commonly described as lacquer or paint thinner. And it can contribute to hangovers.
Yeah, every time I have lacquer or paint thinner, I get a hangover.
So yeah, I just decided to pull that one out. I thought, oh, fusel alcohols, that might be something fun for people to learn about. There are some bad alcohols out there. This is one you don't want to, have in your beer.
Yeah, if it sounds like something that might run your car, don't enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. Well, now it's time for the Brew Buzz, and the Brew Buzz is devoted to discussing various beer-related topics. And this week, we can learn about the legal drinking age around the world and why did the USA choose 21 years to start drinking, allow people to drink. And I pulled this information from 3 different sources. The legal drinking age in each country, written by Julia Larson and found on the vinepair.com website. The age 21 minimum legal drinking age found on the CDC website. And should the drinking age be lowered from 21 to a younger age, found on the procon.org website. And so I'll get started. And Kris, we just bounce back and forth here.
Okay.
For many, being able to buy legal drink is a sign of maturity and freedom, and perhaps a harbinger of questionable decisions and good times to come. I put that in there because I thought that was pretty funny, because we all look forward to that ability to legally buy alcohol and drink. You know, it's like a sign of becoming an adult, like a real adult.
Well, here's the question, though.
Yeah.
So, was the drinking age 21 when you were coming of age?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had just gone to 21.
Okay. When you when you were first buying your first beer or first bit of alcohol legally, did you get carded?
Of course.
You did?
Yeah.
I feel like the last 3 or 4 people I've talked to, myself included, on my 21st birthday, I did not get carded at all. But anytime I've tried to before,
look at this face.
Yeah,
this face is a young. I look like a baby.
Yeah, why do you think I don't shave?
Yeah, I did get carded. It also didn't help that I was, I was in the military and on base buying.
Okay.
Card everyone.
Okay.
On base. So
Yeah.
it wasn't. That was.
So it wasn't like, this guy might be under 21. We got it. No, it was because you were on a military base.
Yeah. Yeah. They had to take care. They had to make sure we didn't. Sell to minors. So yeah, I just find it funny that we all look forward to it, but being 21 and being legal drinking can really bring about some questionable decisions. I have a lot of those questionable decisions in my drinking career, but also bring you good times, which I think is correct. While 21 years old is the standard for most of the United States, all the United States actually, many consumers across the world have earlier introductions to alcohol. In fact, 64% of the world's nations have legal drinking ages of 18. So wow, we're in the lower third of being able to drink, or the upper third, I guess, of drinking older. The youngest legal drinking age in the world is 15.
Wow.
I mean, I would say, okay, that's kind of a misleading thing, because that's the youngest legal drinking age where they have laws put in place that you have a legal drinking age. There are some that don't have any age requirements. So that would be, 6 months you could be drinking if you wanted. With both Mali, which Mali is in West Africa and is the 8th largest country in Africa, and the Central African Republic allowing folks to drink at that time, 15 years old. 7 countries do not have a government-mandated drinking age, while 11 countries ban the consumption of booze entirely. Okay, so Kris, why limit the drinking age?
Well, according to the CDC, a minimum legal drinking age, or MLDA, of 21 saves lives and protects health. Bullshit. MLDA laws specify the legal age when an individual can purchase alcoholic beverages. The MLDA in the United States is 21 years. However, prior to the enactment of the National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984, the legal age when alcohol could be purchased varied from state to state. Here are the benefits of a higher minimum legal drinking age: fewer motor vehicle crashes. Okay.
No, just read
okay. I'll read it.
What do you say?
All right. States that increased the legal drinking age to 21 saw a 16% median decline in motor vehicle crashes.
Now keep in mind, this was in
1984-ish.
Yeah.
Might need to revisit that statistic. because 21 or not, people still have phones. Decreased drinking was another benefit. After all states adopted an age of 21 MLDA, drinking during the previous month among persons aged 18 to 20 years declined from 59% in 1985 to 40% in 1991. That's still significantly high, like still half, almost half. I like that this was almost a 7% beer. It's getting fun. Yeah. Drinking among people aged 21 to 25 also declined significantly when states adopted the age 21 MLDA from 70% in 1985 to 56% in 1991.
Yeah.
Look, yes, the numbers went down. The numbers went down. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
The numbers went down. In the last one, it went down from 70 to 56. So again, instead of 3 and 4 people, it was 2 and 4 people.
Yeah. 1 and 2. 1 out of 2.
Yeah. So yeah, it went down, but okay. So some other outcomes. There's also evidence that the age 21 MLDA protects drinkers from alcohol and other drug dependence, adverse birth outcomes, and suicide and homicide. I'm just reading this. This is what I've been given to read.
This is what the CDC reports on why there's it was deemed better to have a higher drinking age because some of these things, there was a decrease. Not that you're going to see 100% decrease, but still a 19%, 19 or even 14% decrease is still a significant decrease.
It is. It's a significant decrease regardless of how you look at it. And I'm not even going to say the word but.
Yeah.
Just going to say yes, there was a significant decrease.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just wanted to throw out, the stuff is stated on government sites of why 21 was found to be the right age for the U.S.
Okay.
Not that I agree with it or disagree. I mean, now that I'm over 21, I don't care. But
just barely, you are.
Yeah, just barely. But one of the things they mentioned is drinking by those under age 21 can be a public health problem. Let's see what they had to say here. Excessive drinking contributes to more than 3,900 deaths among people below the age of 21 in the U.S. every year. Okay, so there's 4,000
I'll agree.
deaths.
I'll agree with that one. I mean, younger people definitely have an issue with impulse control.
Yeah. They don't realize that alcohol is a poison, right? Alcohol is a poison to your body. Yeah.
Didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
Okay. Here's another one that is interesting. Underage drinking cost the U.S. economy $24 billion in 2010. Wow. Underage drinking. How did that cause? I mean, I wonder what the bill looked like for
the bill or not. I want the stats to go along with that one too.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
That
was caused by people underage drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. Drinking by those below the age of 21 is also strongly linked with death from alcohol poisoning. And this is, honestly, this could have been me as a youth under 21. There was a couple times when I was having fun at a party, doing stupid things, that I could have died from alcohol poisoning myself. So I understand that sometimes we don't use the best judgment, and especially when you're young, and peer pressure and just having fun and you don't realize what you're doing, you might, ended up killing yourself by accident. And that just was reported. Gosh, I just read something today that, it was a stupid TikToker in China or something, right? Drank some Chinese alcohol and then died. Yeah, because he drank too much. So, I mean, this stuff happens, right? Even if you're over 21, this stuff happens.
Do it for the talk.
So you also have unintentional injuries such as car crashes, falls, burns, and drowning. Now, I did cut off these 2 fingertips while I was inebriated as an adult over 21. So if I'm doing it as an adult, then kids, might do it too.
Well, what does that say? Because I sliced this fingertip off totally sober when I was working in a kitchen. So where's the balance?
True. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but at least you were. I mean,
I was working.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, obviously, I cracked my skull when I was a little bit inebriated. I cut my fingers off. I've done dumb stuff, right? I'm admitting that have done dumb stuff under the influence. If I've done dumb stuff as an adult, surely people under 21 would even do more dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Suicide and violence, such as fighting and sexual assaults, occur more, at a younger age. Changes in brain development. Now, this is real, right? Your brain, especially in men, your frontal lobe doesn't connect until you're like 23 or 24. And any kind of damage goes on, that might keep that from ever connecting. So we might want to slow down.
That might explain a lot.
Yeah. School performance problems, such as higher absenteeism and poor or failing grades. I will admit, I may have missed school due to, things that may have happened outside of school.
Allegedly.
So I can. That's
okay.
True. That's a true statement. This is something else that is also a true statement. Alcohol dependence later in life. If you get started younger, it's easier for you to get used to having that and that feeling and going on, and that can lead to lasting longer. Luckily, I was aware of problems in my family history, and I have a good wife that keeps me in line, so that if I ever stray too far away from that and become more dependent on it, that she will steer me back around. And we haven't had to do that, thank goodness. But yeah, that if you are younger, you might get hooked on it sooner. It might cause some issues. And other risk behaviors such as smoking, drug misuse, and risky sexual behaviors. Well, as a young teenager, we had a lot of probably risky sexual behaviors with or without alcohol, but I can see how that could be a problem.
Boy. All right.
Okay, Kris, what are the pros and cons for lowering the MLDA?
Well, all 50 U.S. states have set their minimum drinking age to 21. Although exceptions do exist on a state-by-state basis for consumption at home, under adult supervision, for medical necessity, and other reasons. Can we go back to medical necessity for a minute? Now I'll need to have So when I was in college, I went to culinary school, and I started culinary school at the age of 17 because I have a very late birthday. My birthday's in December. And when I was 17, I was taking a wine tasting course.
Mm-hmm.
And the rule was, or according to my teachers in that class, the rule is that because it was under 2 ounces and it was for quote unquote tasting purposes, totally legal.
Yeah.
But we would taste 5, 6, 7 wines at 2 ounces a piece. So you're getting 2 glasses of wine at that point.
Yeah.
For tasting purposes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's for education.
It's for educational. Well, that's why we do this, right?
And you were under adult supervision too, right?
Yeah, I guess I'd call those people adults. Proponents of lowering the minimum legal drinking age from 21 argue that it has not stopped teen drinking, and it has instead pushed underage binge drinking into private and less controlled environments, leading to more health and life-endangering behavior by teens. Opponents of lowering the MLDA argue that teens have not yet reached an age where they can handle alcohol responsibility, and thus are more likely to harm or even kill themselves and others by drinking prior to 21. They contend that traffic fatalities decreased when the MLDA increased. Impulse control.
Yeah. So, like I said before, I mean, I'll admit, I drank well under the legal limit.
Same.
And I did do some dumb things like they mentioned here, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I'm not didn't fall into all these traps that they say can, but it doesn't mean that, I might be the exception, and Kris, you might be the exception. I don't know. I think that that having, if anything, I'd like to see change is I'd like to see that people serving in the military, if they're serving, they should be able to have a drink with their people, right? With their friends. And
I agree.
I would like to see that be changed to 18. If you're going out there, taking responsibility of going out there and killing for the United States if you need to, but you can't have a drink because they don't think you're responsible enough to handle the drink, I think that's a bit ridiculous. So at the very minimum, I think that should be lifted and let these young soldiers, sailors, Marines go out there and enjoy a beer with their friends. The thing is if they misuse it, guess what? There's a lot more rules and regulations that are going to hurt them in the military than it is out in the real world. So lower that age to 18 for military. Let them have fun. So that's my 2 cents on it. As far as 21, I'm okay with 21. To be honest with you, I kind of agree. I did a lot of these stupid things, and rules are meant to be. I mean, rules will be broken. We'll find a way, right? I found people to buy me alcohol underage.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it all happens. It all happens. Okay, now here's the fun part. This all started. I got this whole topic because my buddy Vic Joe, he does a podcast with his wife called 50 Talk, and on the episode they released this week, there was a mention about how did why is it 21? What makes an age be responsible, whether it's smoking, whether it's owning a gun, whether it's drinking? What makes an age that that's responsible? And it kind of made me think. It's like, wow, that's a good point. Why 21? And I wanted to find out why 21, and I want to find out what other countries set their limits to. So that's why I kind of came up with this subject based off of his discussion with his wife on 50 Talk this week. So let's go ahead and just go and find out which countries in the world, what their legal drinking age are. And I'll start this off here with the ones that don't have a one set age. And that is in Canada, India, and the United Arab Emirates. Different regions within those countries have different legal drinking ages. So in the United Arab Emirates, it's the drinking age is between 18 to 21 or illegal. And in Abu Dhabi, the legal drinking age is 18. In all other territories besides Sirah, the age is 21, and the sale and supply of consumption of alcohol is prohibited in Sirah. So I guess there's a lot of variety in that country. In Canada, it's 18 and 19. Drinking age is 18 in Alberta, Manitoba, and Quebec. But in the remaining provinces and territory, the legal drinking age is 19. Okay, well, they can't even get it straight in Canada either. And then in India, it's the different regions are from 18 to 21 or illegal. Guess what? There are so many different regions and areas that have this. I didn't want to list it. It's just vast.
Wow.
But you know what? You can go to the website that I list on the show notes. You can go find out for yourself. Okay. No drinking age. There's no drinking age in 7 countries. We mentioned that earlier. In Burkina Faso, Djibouti, Guinea-Bissau, Timor-Leste, Togo, Vanuatu, and Western Sahara. There's no drinking age. You can drink at age
whatever
1 month, whatever you want. You can drink. There's no legal drinking age there. So, not that we're going to visit any of those countries. There's not one of them I think I've ever.
No, none of them I've ever looked at and went, where do I want to take my next vacation?
All right, so Kris, why don't you go ahead and you want to try these other ones?
Yeah, I'll get these. So legal at 16, you've got Antigua, Austria, Barbados, Belgium, Burundi, Chad, Cuba, Denmark, Dominica, Georgia, Germany, Haiti, Luxembourg, Palestine, St. Lucia, San Marino, Suriname, and Switzerland. It's all at 16 years old.
Yeah, it's 18 countries.
18 countries.
Yeah, it's quite a few.
Next on the list is going to be legal at 17. One whole country for this list, Malta.
Malta. A little island
over
of Malta.
a little tiny island over in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
2 countries are legal at 19, Qatar and South Korea.
Interesting.
And let's see, legal at 20, we've got 6 countries, Benin, Iceland, Japan, Paraguay, Thailand, and Uzbekistan. I think this is the big one. 21 is the biggest list.
No. Actually, the biggest one is 18, which I didn't put in because it has the most. Yeah, there's so many. I was going to say at the end.
Oh, you did skip
everything
18.
Not listed is 18.
Everything the rest of the world is 18. All right, so that's where we want to go on vacation. Got it. Yeah. Legal at 21: Bahrain, Cambodia, Cameroon, Egypt, Indonesia, Iraq, Kazakhstan, Kiribati, Lesotho, Marshall Islands, Mauritania, Micronesia, Nauru, Oman, Palau, Samoa, Solomon Islands, and Sri Lanka, and right here in the United States.
Yeah.
Legal at 25, one country. Eritrea. It's a country in the Horn of Africa region in Eastern Africa.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I put that note in there, because I was like, where is this place at? So we could just, hey, we're teaching people geography as well.
Well, I'm seeing a trend in the next one of the countries where it's illegal to drink, which is 11 countries. We've got Afghanistan, Brunei, Iran, Kuwait, Libya, the Maldives, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. All places where it's...
The Maldives is illegal. So why would people want to go and do all their diving out there if they can't drink when they get back from diving?
Have you seen pictures of the place? It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's tropical. I mean, that just seems weird. I didn't think about that until just now. It's like, wow, people, want to go out there and do their diving and everything, but then they can't drink while they're there. Crazy.
Man, what are you gonna do?
And like I mentioned earlier, all the other countries not mentioned, and there's a lot. It's 18. So in most countries, it's 18 is the legal drinking age. And the ones we listed are the ones that are other than 18. So go out and have fun. If you bring your son, daughter, grandchild to a country that has lower drinking age and you want to buy them a beer, it's legal. And I will have, there's a link to the, to this article that you can go and look in. If you want to find a specific country that we didn't listed, just go there and check it out, and you can find out what the drinking age is. Okay, Kris, let's do our new and noteworthy, and then we'll do the second beer tasting, and then we'll close the show out. What do you think?
Well, it's kind of sad because I
don't have anything.
I haven't, and it's just been a weird. Wow, where did all of my streaming stuff go? It disappeared. There has just not either been a time in the last couple of weeks where I wanted to crack open something specific where it was like, oh, let's go give this a shot. Or it's been just really, hey, I'm going to crack open this 5%, 4%, 6% something. And that's what we're going to be enjoying.
Okay, that's what I've been doing too. So don't feel bad.
Oh, it's been weird because I was thinking about it today. I was like, well, I've got some time. Let's go crack open a 13-14% barrel aged something and sit down and watch this movie. And it just worked out to where it was all right, well, we'll just have these smaller beers, the beer flavored beers, not a bunch of adjuncts and things like that. So nothing on my list so far.
Well, I have one beer. So you had none. I have one because I've been doing the same thing. I've been drinking stuff that is just, something I feel like drinking. A lot of that Summerfest from Sierra Nevada, drinking a lot of that beer. And but the one beer that I do have on my new noteworthy is from Jim Dandy Brewing. I did say I was in Pocatello, so I had to visit Jim Dandy twice while I was there and drink beers. Just only 2 beers at Jim Dandy this time that I hadn't had before. So I tried each of them. One of them made the list of new and noteworthy, and that is their Melon Patch Fruited Berliner Weiss.
Mm.
And this is a watermelon Berliner Weiss. And here's what I had to say about this. Really nice Berliner with a watermelon and cucumber flavor. Slightly tart slight tartness with some sweetness, but it just mellows out in the tart in the finish. Crisp and refreshing, and is a perfect hot summer refresher. Too bad it's rainy and stormy. Gave us a 4.5 cap rating, and I really enjoyed this beer. And like I said, it's called a watermelon Berliner, but it did have some of that cucumber character in there. Again, melon's a well, wait, cucumber's not a melon, is it? Cucumber's no, it's not a melon. But it's kind of a watery.
Probably in the squash family, though.
Yeah, probably a squash family. Yeah, but it did have some cucumber character in there as well, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I had that the first day I was there, and the next day I came back, I had another pint because that beer was just really good, and I really, really enjoyed it. So that was my one new and noteworthy beer. Okay, Kris, guess what time it is?
Time to drink another beer.
It's time to break out beer number 2.
Cerveza número dos.
Cerveza número 2.
So I had the folks over at Veterans United Craft Brewery, the folks that made this Scout Dog 44 that I was having. They commented on our comment. They said Scout Dog 44, it's a German style alt beer named by John Burnham, the founder of the Military Working Dog National Monument at Lackland Air Force Base and Vietnam dog handler, named for Staff Sergeant Robert Hartstock, the only dog handler to receive the Pro Congressional Medal of Honor. He was in Infantry Platoon 44, aka Scout Dog. Okay, that's pretty awesome, especially like on days like today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pouring mine, Kris.
I am. I'm getting there. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because while I don't have a working military knowledge with my dogs, that's a lot of head, Denny.
That's what she said.
If she did, you got yourself a good one.
Oh, yeah. This is a little bit too much head. I got carried away. And it's only a damn 12-ounce can, and I still can't pour it into a single pour here. But yeah, I got some crazy head. Now, it looks like Jeff hit us up. Well, this one does have a little bit more tropical. Of course, it tricked us before. I thought there was tropical in the last one. But I do smell some pineapple in here. I'm guessing. I'll get it all wrong. But yeah, it pours clear. It's got an off-white head. 3-finger head going on right now for sure.
Only if you pour it as hard as you did.
You can see over the top of my glass, it's got a nice dense head that just like pops up over the top there.
It's thick too.
It's thick. It looks like ice cream swirl. Yeah, you got some good.
It's dense in there. It's just a good mix of big bubbles and little bubbles and all the bubbles.
Okay, I got my whole can in now. Okay, so clear, about the same clarity as the last beer, almost exactly the same coloring as the last beer, slight golden amber. Head is very close to what we had before as far as coloring and density, little off-white, creamy, thick, coarse bubbles in there as well. I think I'm getting a little bit more effervescence out of here. I did switch up my glass. I changed my glass, so it is a.
I did not, because I'm a heathen.
I do have a little. you know, it is just to come out of the cooler, so it's a little bit of
Now I think you and I did the exact opposite on this beer as we did our previous one, because mine, I've had it out for a good 10, 15 minutes now, and it's fairly clear. You can see the lettering from the other side of the glass on it.
Yeah. Okay, I am getting some tropical pineapple, maybe a little melon in there too.
Yeah, definitely get melon.
Might be some Sabro hops. Smells good. I don't expect this to be as bitter as the last one.
No, I don't either.
Smells juicy. Smells good, but it does have a little bit more sweetness in the nose that you get out of the ripe fruit. Okay, you ready to take a sip of this?
I am. Oh, that's a whole different world of a beer.
Yeah, it's totally different. Got some citrus character in there. It does have some bitterness that's puckering but not as strong as the last beer. So it does have some bitterness. It does have tropical fruitiness. I almost want to say, if I were to guess this right off the bat, I would say, of course, I don't think he gets his shoots out there, but I say like fresh squeezed.
This is fresh squeezed. It would make my day.
I mean,
but it's also it's not fresh squeeze time though. Fresh squeeze is fresh hops though, and they normally do that towards the end of summer, early fall.
True. Yeah, but it does feel like that type of beer. It's
yeah, lighter, fruity, juicy. Yeah.
Completely different from the last beer we had, which was nice. I was afraid it was gonna be the same type of beer, but it is different. It's got juicy, fruity, tropical fruits, citrus, bitterness. Now to try to think of what this now. This might be, well, I would say this might be Two Hearted. But I don't think this is more flavorful than Two Hearted, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of Two Hearted, by the way. If you haven't,
you're not.
No, but it's possible this could be.
Listen, this
could be Two Hearted.
It's been touted as one of the best IPAs in the country. Remember a couple years ago, it knocked freaking one of the Russian River beers out of that.
I know it did. I know. It could be Two Hearted. It could be Two Hearted. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it's enough fruitiness to be fresh squeezed. And you're right; it may not be the season for fresh squeezed. I think the fresh squeeze has more tropical or more citrus fruit character to it. Ooh, it's got some bubbles.
Feel better?
That's got some bubbles. I'm halfway through. What do you think? What is your guess? If you had to guess at this beer, it does have. I mean, what do you think? I don't want to give my opinion. I already know what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, man, help me out. Help a brother out. Give me some guesses.
Trying not to knock stuff off my desk here. Only one of us has checked into this on Untapped.
Oh, is that what Jeff said?
Yeah. I love that he's stalking us.
Okay, so it's not Too Hearted, because I'm sure both of us checked into that. So
crap.
that
no,
throws out. that throws out my guess. Only one of us.
Yeah, I've checked into that one.
Citrus. Well, I've checked into it like several times.
Only one of us has checked into this one Untapped. Jeff, northeast, south, or west in the country? I'm telling you, man, these IPAs are going to be tough because
it is tough. It is tough.
It's like going, all right, we're going to have you drink these oatmeal stouts.
Oh, I wonder if this is a Melvin beer. Now I'm trying to think. It seems pretty light for a Melvin, though. They usually have. What could it be? Which Melvin beer could it be if it was Melvin? It's not 2x4 because that's a double. I don't think this is a double. And 2x4 is definitely way more bitter. What other?
He said Midwest-ish.
Midwest? Oh. Midwest-ish.
So is that Michigan? Is that your Two Hearted? No, but you've checked into Two Hearted.
I've checked into Two Hearted like
Midwest
3 or 4 times. Yeah, there's Founders.
Well, he said Midwest-ish, so I mean it could be.
So if it was Big Sky, then it could be. What's the name of their IPAs?
I wouldn't even consider that one if he said Midwest-ish. It's a recent gold medal winner.
A recent gold medal winner? Oh, sheesh. A recent gold medal winning IPA, Midwest-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Would that mean Colorado?
Recent gold medal winner.
Wow, I need to think about IPAs that won gold medal in the Midwest. Oh, it's not a Wellworks beer, is it? I haven't had Wellworks for a while, but I thought they were juicier, like Juicy Bits. I thought that was juicier. This is kind of juicy, but for some reason I thought it was a little bit juicier. What do you think? Wellworks? I have Wellworks here in Boise, and I haven't.
Yeah, but aren't they in like Missouri?
Colorado. They're Colorado.
Are they Colorado?
That's Midwest-ish.
Midwest-ish.
I swear, Wellworks has won gold medal. Didn't they win a gold medal? Now I kick myself for not getting to the bottle shop and getting some Wellworks out of because they're now in Boise.
I got nothing.
Maybe it's Juicy Bits. Or what's the different Wellworks beers? Juicy Bits, right? Is that the name of the beer from Wellworks? Wow, I'm totally stunned. Okay, Kris, what do you think? I'm going to go with a Wellworks beer.
Yeah, there's Juicy Bits.
I'm just going with Wellworks because that's the closest thing I can think of to Midwest-ish and gold medal winner. And one of us, I mean, I've had a couple Wellworks. Have you had Wellworks? Oh,
I've had two.
The chances are we both would have had that then.
I've had Space Tunnel and I've had Juicy Bits.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I look on Juicy Bits and see if I've had it. I thought I had Juicy Bits.
Keep saying you have Juicy Bits.
Juicy Bits.
I've got
Juicy Bits.
I've got Juicy Bits.
I've got Juicy Bits.
I know Jeff's had it.
Lots of Juicy Bits.
Jeff's had it.
Have I not had Juicy
Leon,
Bits?
David.
I could have swore I had Juicy Bits. Come on, Kris. Be faster, man. Aren't I your best friend?
You are not checked into Juicy Bits.
Oh, maybe it's Juicy Bits. I've had Juicy. This might be one of the ones they erased from my damn Untapped because I've had Juicy Bits before. Okay, we're going Juicy Bits, Jeff.
I'm just going
Let's
to
see
peel the
if-
electrical tape off. I thought tearing the paper off was going to be fun. And, oh, wow, this is going to be great. It's like Christmas. It's a blue can. I've only seen the top of it. It's a blue can.
So it might be a Big Sky.
Oh, God damn it. I was going to guess this one.
We didn't guess right, huh?
No, it's Fatheads. Headhunter.
Oh, so you've had.
I
so
have
haven't
had this
any
one.
Fatheads.
Well, you
No
have
wonder
now.
I couldn't call it.
You said Midwestish, and I went, oh, Fatheads. No.
Fatheads Brewery, Headhunter India Pale Ale, 7.5%, 80 IBUs.
And the Midwestish thing threw me off because I've always considered Ohio as Midwest.
It's a West Coast IPA, aggressively hopped West Coast IPA. That's all it says.
Mm.
Wow, 2 beers I've never had. So, Jeff, how many beers have I had on?
If anybody's going to know, it's going to be Jeff. Jeff's like, oh, Denny checked into this one. I'll send this.
Hey, another can I'm going to keep because I like that can.
Yeah, they have some cool art
I
too.
like that. Yeah. I think I've had a cup. I think I have had some hop heads, but not very many. I haven't had this, I don't think. Hey, Kris, check and see if I've had.
Any Fatheads? Mm.
Well, Jeff, thank you again. Fun blind tasting. I hope we at least were able to call out the hop flavors. It is a good one. I am enjoying it. It does remind me of some fresh squeeze, but not. I was limited on the fresh squeeze because it wasn't as juicy, like flavor juicy as that one. This is more mellow on the juicy, but it is juicy. And I was thinking the juicy bits was more juicy as well, but I was thinking gold medal winner. Hey, we went with it. Can't win all the time. Only some of the time. Okay, Kris, have I had this before?
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
My gosh, man.
I can't just go searching through all your stuff.
No, just search
I'm
for
getting there.
Headhunter and then look at your friends and see if I'm on there.
Well, Headhunter, you know you haven't had.
No, I don't know if I did. I may have.
But he said that only one of us has checked into this.
Oh, okay.
I know
okay.
I've checked into this.
Okay, I got you. All right. Well, hey, we're right past the hour and a half point. Let's go ahead and close this show out. But before we close out the show,
You did have shooting blanks from Fatheads Brewery back in 2017. So this is your second one from them.
Okay, cool. All right, Kris, let's go ahead and raise a glass to some guys people like to raise a glass to tonight.
Well, they just happen to all be guys. So it works out. First off, cheers to you, Jeff Seiler. Thank you for sending these beers out to us. Denny and I have such a good time when we do these. Even if we sat here and got them all wrong and just went, Bell's Two-Hearted. Thank you so much, man. This means the world to us that you guys send us out beer and we can have some fun with it. And Jeff's over there going, yes, I got him. The IPAs are going to be a tough one.
We're 0 for 2. We're 0 for 2.
That's okay. We've still got a couple more to go. So thank you for the beers. Want to also raise a glass to some folks with some birthdays. We've got Mo Ryman over at 48 or Marker 48 Brewing on the 30th. What's today? The 29th? Yeah. So his birthday's tomorrow. And then Mike Allen over in Georgia. He's on the 31st. So happy birthday, guys. Raise a glass to you and cheers to many more. Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
All right. Well, I'll raise my glass for our Patreon toast tonight. Goes out to Tara Carlson and Jim Kuzel. Thanks for your support. And of course, to Jeff Seiler, thank you for your support and sending us these great blind tasting IPAs. And of course, I must raise my glass to all those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms on this Memorial Day, including my great uncle Denny, who I am named after my father, who was named after him, who did die as a POW in World War II in the Philippines. Cheers to all those who have given their sacrifice for our freedoms. And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass and thank all those who have served and who are currently serving in the U.S. military armed services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and please return home safely to your families very soon. And Kris, why don't you go ahead and raise a toast to our sponsor?
Certainly can. Tin Tackers, the provider of sweet metal beer signs that will make your walls happy. Tin Tackers has a vast selection of embossed aluminum beer signs, perfect for your garage, home bar, or man cave. They have the biggest selection with the best prices. They also have a mini Tacker of the Month club, a club just for craft beer lovers who collect tin tackers. It's a surprise in your mailbox every month. Go visit their website at tintackers.com and use the promo code TAPTHECRAFT at checkout to save 10% on your entire order and to let them know we sent you.
Yeah, of course. And you can find the beers and links to the articles mentioned on the show in the show notes located on the show post at tapthecraft.com. All right, it is last call. It's time to bring the show to a close. We want to thank you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend. And of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.